advice to other people, why should they do it through My Property Circles and not try and do it on their own?
Well, I think one of the things, Lucy, we'll talk to this, when you're ringing up your friends and your family and saying, hey, why don't we put our money together and buy property? The first thing people feel is, oh, you know, I don't want to lose that friendship. What if things go wrong?
Yeah.
And so we had a really brilliant lawyer at the time who put the trust structure together for us. She was really fantastic. And that structure has stood the test of time, right? So we've had some of our friends been through relationship breakdowns, who have lost their jobs, haven't been employed, and their problems haven't become our problems, or my problems haven't become their problems, and vice versa. So it's structured in such a way that it just keeps the investment safe from each other, so you can maintain your friendships and your family relationships, and still build something together.
Yeah, and diversify. Like as you've just said, you've got a commercial properties and five other properties. That's quite hard to come by if you're just doing it yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think so. And for me, I joined Nicola because I'm in a different stage of our life cycle. I have a property that was, you know, at home that we already live in, and it's like, well, how can I get on that property ladder? And that was difficult with a mortgage already.
Yes.
So for me, we had our super just sitting there,
yep,
sort of twiddling its thumbs, and I thought, why not put it to work?
Yeah.
So for me, that's how I invest in the property circle,
great.
through my super fund, through a self-managed super fund. So that obviously entails a bit of work to start with, and talking to our taxation, our tax agent, and getting all that set up. But once it was done, pretty then easy just to jump in and invest. So for us, it's just been an easy way because I don't have the extra cash in the funds just to come up and put it in. So that was the best way for us.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, great. Wonderful. Yep. Okay, so to the next question, we have had a few people ask, obviously investing with friends and family, can a 16-year-old daughter join a property circle?
Yeah, so we've had a few people ask us, can I come into my family? Because there's always, mum and dad always getting asked, give me money. But so mum and dad can go in there with their family. The structure of that and how that works out, best talking to an accountant.
Yes.
So the accountant will look at each person and individual situation and give you the best advice. I mean, I say an accountant, you might have a great financial advisor, whoever it might be, but there are ways you can do that. We don't go into the detail of how that's for the experts to do, the accountant and the lawyer. And
you can, but ask someone who's in the know.
Talk to your accountant.
What would work for you?
Every situation is a little bit different. For example, Felicity might use her self-managed super fund, and then my now husband uses cash. And so for Felicity, when you make profit, it has to go back into her self-managed super fund.
Yes. Okay.
So whereas my husband goes, oh, cash, great, now I can go on a holiday. So depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can do different things with it, right? So that gives her a great long-term investment. She knows Felicity knows she's going to be safe in retirement.
Yes.
And my husband's going to have great holidays.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah. Mine's a long-term strategy. As you see.
So everyone has their different needs. So it's best to talk to your accountant about it.
Okay, great. And we've been asked, like, what's the minimum amount to join a circle?
Yeah, so I think when we were setting it up, everyone was at different stages of their life. So you can just do an even amount. So if you need 150,000, there's 5 of you, you can all put in 30,000 each. But if someone only has 5,000 or 10,000, that can happen too. And someone else might be able to put in a little bit more. So if you have some friends with a bit more money and friends who don't,
okay, great.
They can all still come in together.
So you don't have to put in an even amount. It would just be
what you can do.
Yeah, and then a different percentage of ownership almost.
Yeah, so if somebody puts in a little bit less, owns less, and somebody puts in more, owns more.
Yes.
And that's also helped us when we've had, we've got a shack, we call it the shack, up north, and we had to replace the kitchen and the deck and a few things. And I think the bill was about $10,000.
Yep.
So at the time it was $2,000 each, which
a lot more manageable.
Way more manageable than a 10 grand shop.
Yes, absolutely.
2 grand, but one of our friends at the time was unemployed, and so she couldn't do it. so that was okay. The other 4 of us just put in an extra 500, which means she's got a little bit less now that on the property circle, and we've all got a little bit more. But because you're breaking it up across more people, it's way easier to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if I got a $10,000 bill just myself for a property, I'd be like, oh. So to when you say it's only $2,000, $2,000 is still a lot of money, but it's a lot better to swallow than 10,000.
Right. Oh yeah, and the kitchen looks amazing.
So next question that we had sent through is, will I lose my first home buyer's grant?
No.
Nah.
The quick answer to that, because it's held in a trust structure, you're actually personally not on the record is only, you only own units. So you only own units within the trust structure. So no, you are completely good to go and buy and purchase your first home.
That's good to know. Good to know. I think we kind of just answered this, but am I able to renovate or add value? So you've obviously done that with the shack.
Well, we're a bit behind on that one.
Yeah,
actually.
we are a bit behind. So we're seeing now people coming through doing renovation circles, and they're going really well. So it's
instead of going to jump on the
get on the bandwagon. So we are going to actually knock down the shack and that beautiful kitchen. But we'll build 2 to 3 duplexes, townhouses on it, with the idea being then that we'll sell 2 and we'll still keep 1. So we'll keep that investment and the rental income coming in, but we'll be able to sell off those other 2 properties. So we're actually just going through that process now, getting feasibility studies. We've got experts at My Property Circles have. We're using them to do feasibility studies for us on what it will cost and what kind of return we'll get. But we are definitely moving forward doing that. But other people have just jumped straight in, bought a property, renovated it, and already sold it, I think, this year. Right? So
absolutely.
The renovation circle is quite popular. And actually that development circle, a lot of people are looking into, and we are also potentially looking at an Airbnb strategy where we get some properties and we Airbnb them out, and then we'll sneak up on weekends and holidays, take your kids and spend some time there as well. So again, we're getting some of the My Property Circles experts to do the feasibility study. Great for us.
And that sounds like a lovely thing to have in the background to go off on holidays. So obviously all going well with the circles, but what happens if for some reason I want it out?
So there's a number of ways you can get out. The existing people that are in there can buy your units out from if they want to, or you can go and sell them to somebody else. So those are the 2 ways you do it, but each property circle is, we set ours up for actually a long time. We said we're going to stay in for 10 years. But I think that can be scary for some people. So if you go for about 5 years and then you can exit. But I think, certainly in our situation, that second 5 years is really start to see the capital growth and and you're starting to use the equity because our commercial property was really
paid off. And we were able to buy that 3rd and 4th with the equity. So, but you don't see that unless you kind of got that long-term strategy. I think.
So that's all, I guess, all to do with that mandate. So the investing rules that you kind of structure with your circle before setting up a circle, and so you're all on the same page.
Really important.
We all know what
ours is long-term, but those renovated ones that we're just talking about, they're like, right, we want to get in within the year, do it, get out, and then we'll just start that process again. So I think it just depends. But if you're all on the same mindset, then that's the best.
And you had a situation where someone tried, I remember that someone wanted to said, oh, why don't we actually buy XYZ? And then you were like, well, the circle was like, no, we decided. So
that was how we recommended. So that was way easier. You all agree up front what you're going to do. And then if there are any kind of people going off in different directions, you say, go back to, this is what we agreed to do, and this is why we put our money in. Let's stick to that plan. If you want to do something completely different, you can start another circle with some other friends, so some people, I had friends speaking to me who want to do international circles where they want to buy overseas in emerging markets. So we're not doing that in our circle. Our circle is we have a very set kind of, the properties we buy, we positively gear them, we make sure the rent pays the expenses, and we have a set strategy. So
Yes.
if you have a different strategy going, so that anyway, again, it stops the arguments.
Yes, okay, yeah, sounds good. Okay, great. And next question. So what's the first step if I want to do it? And that's me.
Call you.
So
Call
call
Amelia.
me.
Yes.
Yeah, please get in touch with me and either by phone or email, and I'd love to try and talk through a bit of a strategy for you, or put you into touch with someone in the know who can speak about any of your questions. But please send through some questions now if you do have some, because that's the questions that we had so far. So yeah, send them through to the chat if you do have any questions, and otherwise I'd love to speak to you further about what you're thinking with your circle. So if you do have any questions,
It's pretty
send them
hard
through.
just to go, okay, I'm just going to jump in here, but you've got to have a chat to somebody, because everyone's going to be in a different place in their life or their cycle, or what kind of property they want. So they might not necessarily have their group yet
Yes.
that they need to go and find, or they might want to jump into someone else's group.
Yes.
So you're not necessarily, you've got some people around that are drivers, are like, right, we want to buy here, we want to, who's going to jump on board? And then you've got some that are just a little bit more hesitant, or just haven't got the experience in the kind of the game yet. So I think you'll have a whole lot of different kind of questions, people.
Yes.
There's no exact starting point.
No, and as we've like really briefly discussed now, there is no set circle. Like there's so many different ways that you can cut it, so to speak. So whether it be investing, whether it be renovating, whether it be developing, whether it be that you put in cash, whether it be that you put in a certain amount of cash and then go and get a loan for the rest of the amount. So there's many different ways that you can enter a circle. And
Private islands.
yes,
We're working our way up to the private islands.
yeah, I'll be on that one. So if there aren't any other questions, I'd just like to thank you for your time and thank you for joining us today.
Sorry about the hiccup.
Yeah, sorry about the technical issues, but we're really thankful that you've joined us and joined us for our first session. And any feedback on the session would be really lovely as well. So thank you again and have a wonderful weekend, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.